PHP 7 is responding to the markets as it has a little sister called Node.js. PHP 7 is now fast, it's adaptable, and it's taking in wonderful features from other popular functional languages like Scala, with those declaration types you can apply to your arguments and also to your return statements on your functions. It really is a wonderful language. Node.js has its place. Yes, you can run it on the server side, but Node.js is wonderful because it allows us to build client-side apps like desktop applications and also mobile applications like iOS and Android. By using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we can build those client-side applications in a hybrid manner. So Node.js has its place, but PHP gets really polished up. When you think that what's happening is we want more web services. We want the server to just deliver the data. So what we're looking at as server-side developers is creating endpoints, creating a simple API that can receive data, store data in a database in a secure manner, such as PHP prepared statements and so forth with PDO, and pull out the data and render it as JSON or XML, which you can very easily do with PHP. In fact, with the revolution of web services, it really amplifies the beauty of PHP. And now with this next iteration that's even faster, it's going to be a wonderful thing to see these technologies compete together. But my personal opinion is, as a JavaScript developer, I am much more in favor of PHP when it comes to database integration and keeping the integrity of the data. I am much more of a fan of PHP every time I come to code in it. It is a wonderful language, and it's just got a little bit smoother, a little bit more polished, and a little bit better. Just like every iteration of every language. You get rid of a few little features, and then you adapt and bring in new features. That's all you're doing. So stop looking at old and new, what's hot and what's not. As developers, we have to look at things honestly and without bias. Not at release dates, not at hype, but just what is this language designed for? And PHP on the server side isn't going anywhere. Now I also want to show you something a little extra with the new version of PHP. And it's something that I haven't seen documented yet on PHP's site. But it's a lovely little feature. And as a JavaScript developer, I'm actually quite happy about it. Now, this is the old way that you would have, let's say, a function that returns an array. And then what we'd do is we'd invoke the function, it would return the array. And then we'd have to go and target that particular variable that contains the array. And then we use the square bracket syntax to access an element within the array. And that will produce the value 200, like it will do here. But what you can do now is you can actually put those square brackets next to the function that is invoked. So the function will now return an array, and then the PHP engine will look at the square brackets and say, this function's returned an array, and what this individual wants to do is just pull out the first value within the array, which again will produce the value of 200. And if I just tried to get rid of those brackets, it would then try to print out an array which isn't allowed. So you can see there that it is working. Something very small, but really quite nice. And you could put that directly in an echo statement, like so. So there you go, PHP 7's new and deprecated features.